It was once the site of one of the worst long-term care COVID-19 outbreaks in Ontario. Now, Sunnycrest Nursing Home in Whitby will be closing permanently in the spring. And CityNews has learned that won't stop a multi-million-dollar lawsuit against the home's operators from going forward. Meanwhile, family members of residents who suffered say news of the home's closure is a relief.
I said, hallelujah, thank the Lord.
Diane Pereira's father, Neville, passed away from COVID-19 when the home was ravaged by the virus during the second wave of the pandemic.
From the owners, the management, they have done a crummy job, especially during this COVID period.
An inspection report from November 2020, first reported by CityNews, documented widespread failures in the home, issues like improper hand hygiene and use of PPE, as well as staffing down to less than 50% of normal levels, which led to lack of care. Wounds were not dressed, and medication and food would be delivered up to 2 hours late. In all, 117 residents and 70 staff were infected.
It was like walking into a war zone. There was hardly any original staff there because they were all off sick. If I wasn't there for him to get his medication on time, he would not have gotten it.
Pereira's father was among the 34 residents who reportedly died in the outbreak, although families say the death toll was higher. They are suing the nursing home for $30 million in a class action lawsuit. Family members seeking damages for negligence, breach of contract, and more. But most of all, they want accountability. The law firm representing the family says the impending closure at Sunnycrest means nothing to the case.
The acts of gross negligence that we're complaining about occurred while Sunnycrest was in charge of the home. So the case goes forward, and we're on schedule for a certification hearing in December of this year.
The allegations have not been proven in court. Lakeridge Health took over management of Sunnycrest in December 2020 and has been running the home ever since. In a statement, it said the closure is because their temporary emergency license would expire in April. Quote, "We are working closely with residents and their families to find a suitable placement in our region. We have established a transition support team with home and community care support services to ensure all residents are relocated to a home that is appropriate for their needs and in accordance with their preferences." Regional Councillor in Whitby, Steve Yamada, has been advocating for families throughout the COVID crisis.
I think this is great news for the folks who are still here at Sunnycrest. It's a couple years too late for some, but I think for those who lost loved ones in that outbreak that took 34, 35 lives, this is part of the closure that they need.
Lakeridge says the home will not close completely until they have found a placement for every resident. For City News, I'm Erica Natividad.